1. And we should be live. Where's the thing? Why is it not up? There it is. Alright. Boom. That probably looks better like that. Now we'll do that. Nope, we'll do that. Yep. How's it going, everybody? Sorry, I'm a few minutes late. I feel like shit, I'll be honest with you. Let's start with that. But that doesn't mean we can't have a good show. What's up, KB Kingdom? What's up, VeroClaw23? Hey, Manu Gaming Creations. What's up, Stoppable Force? Hey, Polka Latte. Heartless Angel. Showing me the clock. Of course she's showing me the clock. Some pay cuts. I don't know how you cut any farther. Skepsis D, how you doing, man? Hey, Tony Dev. Alright, so today I'm going to be doing, let's get the microphone right. Going to be doing some Let's Make a Game on Ronin Idle RPG. I've already been working on it a little bit over the weekend. We took Lily to the zoo on Saturday, and I was feeling really bad that on Saturday night, like sick. And then on Sunday I had like, I guess there was like a literal bug in my ear, and like there was like black goop and earwax. It was disgusting. But then on Sunday, I felt much better. I felt great yesterday. And then today, I feel like shit again. So I don't know what the fuck is happening. I'm dying, apparently. But I woke up to Drifty. To Drifty? A fucking brain. I'm reading. Don't read and talk.
Sorry, I found that very funny. I don't know why.
Never mind. I don't even want to finish my story. I'm just going to work on my fucking game.
Trying to get this
God, motherfucking.
trying to get it out of the way, but the
He keeps hitting me with a microphone handle holder stand. There's a word for it. But hitting me.
The cord's like stuck under a corner of your desk, so I can't move it the way I want
We'll
to.
fix it. Jeez.
There we go.
Anyway, let me just play and show you what I've actually
so Lily
made.
drop kicked Drifty this morning.
It was just shooting pain. I was dead asleep and then just, ow! That was the first thing I said this morning was, ow! What happened? And then I looked around and realized, Lily, I don't think she hit me that hard, but like, she hit me right in the right spot or the wrong spot. I was laying face down asleep, and she's like eating mommy's nummies, and then she's like hitting me with her heels on my back. And then one hit me like right on the back of the neck, like on the spine, just shooting pain. It was terrible. And I was just like, why? Ow! And I've had a backache all morning, I think due to that, because of that. Drifty, we don't even see a game? Oh, you're right, you don't. Alright, so I just started this project. And if you guys don't know what an idle RPG is, it's an RPG that you kind of play while you do other stuff. Like you just keep your other stuff up, but this is on their second window. And then, yeah, anyway, this is the main menu. I haven't really done shit yet, right? Okay, all I've done is like made a project and started this, you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be using a number of plugins, but I'm going to be using the Super Tools engine from SRD. So at the beginning, you have level 1 Lumberjack. We're going to have like skills and fighting, but it'll be like all watching bars fill. It's like a clicker, but you don't have to keep clicking that much. It's just you select a skill and you say train, and then that skill trains. It's literally like, imagine RuneScape without the 3D element of RuneScape, except it's like you're just training your skills up, right? Oh yeah, we're dealing with plumbing issues again. Some other stuff happened. And we ordered the wrong part, so great.
Yay.
We have to deal with that shit. And now we've decided to buy a caliper. Why we didn't have one is, I don't know why, because we're not really plumbers, but we have to be plumbers because money. Yeah, so you can stop the training, but you can keep it going. And you can go back. And since this is in scene menu, or I'm sorry, since this is all scene map, there's no scene menu and there's no scene battle. Like it's still going. Like let's see where the progress is at. It's right past the eye on the end, and if we go back, it shows your current task is lumberjack progress. Obviously, we're gonna just update this UI and make this look really cool. And you can see now it's past the end a little bit. It's filling up. So if we go back and we click on it, you should be able to see that it's actually, it doesn't stop. You know what I mean? Like your progress keeps going, even if you're not on the menu. And what we'll do is in the lumberjack, you'll have like, this will be regular logs, and then we'll have like, the next one will be like higher level logs, and then next log, and then so higher level, and it just, maybe we'll have 6. I'm thinking we'll just have 6 tiers. Like we'll have this, then one here, then one here, then one here, one here, and one here. And you've got to decide which one you want to train. It won't just say lumberjack. It'll say lumberjack at the top. Then it'll be like regular logs, and then like, I don't know, we'll find names for them, right? I'm thinking we'll use color coding to make it easy. We'll do like a white, green, blue, yellow, purple, or something like that. How many is that? White, green, blue, yellow, purple. That's 5. Gray, white, green, blue, yellow, purple. That's 6. Yeah, we'll do something like that. 6 tiers, because then it'll be nice and have 3 things. Bop, 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 bop. And then like I'll have like more bars and numbers, right? And that's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to be messing around with that. I hope you guys find that entertaining, because that's what I'm doing. If you have any questions, I'll be reading the chat and hanging out. Lily is a born assassin. Yep, she straight up almost paralyzed me this morning. If you don't know what an idle RPG is, time to log off and go to the corner. Ah, it's that kind of game. Why you want to make such a thing? Because as strange as it sounds, I find them a lot of fun. Because like when you have a kid, you might understand, because you don't get time to focus and play a game. Like you just don't get it. It's like fuck what you want, right? Fuck what you want to do. You get you get a few moments here and there if you're lucky. And so when you can not be sitting at the computer but still making progress on your character, that's fun and appealing when you don't have the focus power or the ability to sit there without being disturbed. You know what I'm saying? So because I like sense of progression, I like you getting old. Yeah, bro. Like blink and you'll have gray hair. Manu says it's just the first 6 years. Well, I got 4 years to go, Manu. T said it gets better after they turn 5. You'll be able to focus again after that. Yeah, if you don't have any more kids, right? Well, I think we're probably good, because I've got 4 stepkids and one of my own. So we're probably good after that. You can see it's training very slowly. I want to change the numbers so that this goes faster. Probably. Maybe we make it so that each one requires more for the progress bar. Like, I will play with the numbers. You've had gray hair since you were 14, Vero? I got gray hair when I was in my mid-20s, which I thought was weird. But at the same time, my brothers and my brother and part of other parts of my people in my family like didn't have gray hair, but they like started losing hair, like receding hairline and whatnot. And so like I thought I'm fine with it, because I don't have any like bald spots or anything. I mean, let me knock on something here, because who knows, right? But like I have a really nice head of hair, but I do have a lot of gray hair. So yeah. You started to grow gray hair when you were 14. That's crazy, dude. I mean, I've heard of it in their 20s. Like, I also started getting gray hair like at 26, just a little tiny bit, and I'm like, what? I'm like, oh, it's blonde. I'm like, no, it's not blonde. It's gray, dude. It's just gray. That's what happens. Anyway, you guys probably want to see me like working on this, so I'm gonna try to make some progress on it. you guys haven't checked out Hud Maker Ultra, you guys can. It's free. Of course, to do what I'm doing, you're going to want to buy the $40 version. There's a way you can do it with the free version, but I don't recommend it because it'd be completely different and super hard. If you want to use Hud Maker to make an idle RPG, you might as well just buy it for 40 bucks. But whatever. I'm using the pro version because I need the features from the pro version, and Vino bought it for me a while back when it came out. And yeah, I love it. It's fantastic. I wish there were more third-party tools for RPG Maker. What do we have now? We have Effects here. We have Hud Maker Ultra. There's like a database viewer thing. There's a few third-party RPG Maker MZ tools. I mean, if you don't count digital audio workstations, because then there's 100 of them, right? Fruity Loops, you make your music that goes into your game. Photoshop, you can edit your stuff, your graphic art, your technical art stuff. You can use GIMP, you can use Sprite to create sprites and stuff like that. So like, if you think about the art side, there's a ton. If you think about the music side, there's a ton of third-party programs. But as far as like deeply integrated third-party stuff like the Hud Maker, there's only a few things like that. Like Effectsier is one of them because that's how you design your particles, and it works inside the engine, or works alongside the engine. Anyway, you've been trying to make a game in Unity, Super Smash? Unity's pretty hard, and it makes my computer heat up for some reason. Like I don't understand why the tools need to utilize so much of my CPU and GPU when it's just sitting there. I feel like it's being used to mine crypto or something. Anyway, so what I suppose I'll be doing is making several HUDs. Like we have the main menu here, and why don't we just make some adjustments on the fly? Start bringing this down. This is skill level. Why don't I make a new component here, and we'll call it skill, we'll call it level text, and then the text, it'll just say level. Easy. I suppose I should change the font immediately, like right now. So I'm gonna do that actually after we're done with this. This is a simple thing. So if I save this and then I go here, now it's supposed to automatically update, and it used to. I don't know why it doesn't anymore. Like the auto refresh, that was one of the big selling points for the Hud Maker, doesn't do that anymore. And I don't understand what happened or why, but like the instant refresh doesn't automatically just boom refresh anymore. You know what I mean? Like, see, it didn't update. It didn't immediately update like it would, like it did in the past. So if anybody knows why, yeah, there's a free version, Heartless, but if you want the paid version that does as many HUDs as you want, it's not a rip. Heartless, get good, scrub. It's a good deal if you use it. Now listen, if you don't use it, then it ain't worth it, right? And if you don't have the ability or the time or the patience or the know-how or the skill to learn a new software, then GTFO, you know what I mean? Don't buy it. Easy. But if you want a tool and are willing to spend your time to learn it, then you will also find it worth spending your money to have access to it. I don't know why people think everything should be handed to them anymore. It's just ridiculous. Too many things were given for free in MV, in my opinion, and that's why everyone's so fucking entitled. But if I do relaunch it, we're gonna change that background and change the font. It will update. See, now it shows level, whatnot. Okay. Let's change the background. Let's find a font. Maybe I'll go to Google Fonts. Change the font. Yeah, try the free version. If you like it, then, you know, and if it works for you. I would say most of the things I've used it for, the free version can do. But for something like what I'm doing right now, you need the paid version. And I don't know what to tell you. If you don't have the money for it, don't get it. It's simple. And what I do doesn't mean like you have to do it the way that I'm doing it. You can do it another way, but I don't know. Fonts, Google Fonts. Nope, I want her to do one thing. Let's change our background. Why does it have one? Maybe I decided there needed to be one. You've been avoiding using Unreal because of the PC requirements. I mean, I feel like Unity and Unreal are pretty damn close as far as what it takes on your, how taxing it is. You in a bad mood? Yeah, I'm not feeling good, Heartless. I'm sorry. What the fuck was I doing? I need to put a picture where it needs to go. IMG. Let's take the one stretchy parallax I made. This is a piece of art that I got off of opengameart.org, and I'll show you the creator of this. He made layers, and I just put them together in Photoshop. So I kind of Franken edited it. What's up, Coob? How you doing, Brian Perez? What's up, Wrath of Wood? Hooba dooba. Titles, there we go. Let me find a font. Google Fonts. You guys want to help me find a font? Let's find a good font. This is a nice one right off the bat. I like it. We need it to be kind of none of this fancy shit. It needs to be very legible.
Mm-hmm.
This one looks kind of video gamey. Pagolin. I feel like I've already used that one before. I like this dancing script, but at the same time it'll be harder to read, and so it should be avoided. It looks good, but it's harder to read. You want, the most important thing is legibility. That's why the default font is actually okay, but don't use it. It
What?
The default font you shouldn't use though. It's legible though.
Yeah, it is.
Indie Flower. I feel like I've used this one too. I think Google Fonts is just showing me the same fonts that I've already used before. probably does that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Knows which ones you've downloaded, and it's like, you want to use this one again. I know you downloaded it before.
probably.
Roboto and Futura are good fonts. Okay, let's do a search. Roboto. That is a good font. Condensed Mono. Roboto Slab. That is a good one. What's the other one that was recommended? Futura. This one's I don't know about. It's very stylized and thick, kind of like Impact, but I don't really think that one's gonna work. The first one was a good suggestion. Roboto. Let's do. We're probably gonna want to put a lot of text in a short area, so let's deal with Roboto Condensed. Very clear to read, has lots of stuff. What's our license on it? Are we able to put it in a video game and sell it? Okay, so as long as you're not selling the font by itself, you can put it in your game and sell it. Apache license 2. Yep, we can totally use this one. Let's download it. Sick. Nice. All right. Funk nasty awesome. Man, a lot of projects going and started, and it's kind of getting there. You know what I'm saying? It's getting big. That's what she said. I think what we should do is once a week look at MZ MMO, and then once a week look at Amalgamation MZ, and once a week look at Ronin Idle RPG.
Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh, yep. And then whatever like sparks me fancy, I can work on offline. Show progress on it, if there are any to be had. Condensed bold, condensed light, condensed regular. All right, what I'm gonna do is install these fonts. I don't know why it does pop-ups on like random monitors. Like I click install and then a little thing pops up on another monitor, like installing. I'm like, why wouldn't it just be in this box? I don't get it. It's weird when you have multiple monitors, especially when like you're streaming. It's all good. But what we're gonna do is just copy this entire thing right here. Actually, let's copy the file. We have to copy the file. We'll delete the whole temp folder by the time we're done, and we'll go into fonts, paste this in here, and then I need to copy the text for the name of it so that I can use it in game. Let's go back. Actually, we can close Google Fonts. Game. Here we'll go. Main font file name, that one. Number font file name, that one. Fallback fonts for Verdana and Sans is fine. Keep font size the same, but let's see how things look with that. I know KV, but if I want to use it in Photoshop, I would have to install it. Hey Barry, how you doing, man? How you doing, Coob? Is the game gonna launch? What's freaking happening here? Is it already running? Oh, that's why. It's been running. Okay. Much better, right? Now it has a custom font and
Beautiful.
it has its own background. New game. And it automatically changed all the fonts because I just kept them to the default. I mean, I know that seems weird to say, but like what I meant is inside this thing. Default family, which will be the one that is given. We can specify Roboto. In fact, we will. But if we select default, it will go with what's in the database. So it will use this one since we set this one as the one to use. But so that it looks the same, we'll specifically select the right font. This is a nice font. Nice suggestion. Thank you. Divinity 2 uses Roboto. Roboto. Well, it is a good font.
Any games that use Kokoro Reflections tile set? I don't know.
What are they looking for? An example of it?
Yeah. That'd be hard to, I mean, with FSM, people are like, oh yeah, that's FSM, but I don't know if Kokoro's that well known yet.
Cool. All right, there we go. Save, reload, save. Interesting thing how I'm showing current task. I'm literally storing text in a variable and displaying the variable. In fact, it says 0 at the start, and we can fix that real quick. I'm not using very many plugins for this project. I'm using the core engine, message core, options core, save core, and then SRD stuff. Excuse me. If I decide to put in some new animations, which I probably will, I'll use the new version 1.6 Effectseer plugin. Put that one in here too. But it'll be pretty minimal. This is not a really complicated setup. It's just a lot of messing with the UI, making it feel and look good, and playing with the numbers so that progression feels fair, but also like not too fast, like fast but not too fast. And inside of the core engine, there's a quality of life setting that lets you run a common event upon starting a new game, which is what we're doing. So I'm handling initialize game. This is a weird song. I don't want to hear it anymore. Blah, blah, blah. So let's do that thing where I control a variable and set it to current task text, and what we'll do is use parentheses, and you can set it to any text you want. So we'll set that to be the value of nothing instead of 0. That way it shows text that says nothing until I'm chopping wood. New game. You'll make the game progress when computer is off too. Well, I would like to do that. And I'm not saying that's impossible, because we've seen with MZMMO we can link it to a server, and as long as the server's running, it can receive save requests. But I don't know if that's what I will do. If so, it will be an afterthought. Like it will be added afterwards, because otherwise we're incorporating like an SQL database and Node and like a lot of other stuff just for that function, to tie it to a real world clock, and then apply progress out offline. A lot of these idle games do that, and it's a really cool feature, especially with cloud save. I really appreciate that. I want to start simple and not promise that from the beginning. But you can see now when we start, the current task does not say 0, it just says nothing. What are we doing? We're doing nothing. We click on Lumberjack, we're training this, and we're making current task Lumberjack progress. But what we want to do now is if I pause it, it's not actually making Lumberjack progress. It's stopped. So when we stop it, we need to also set the task to nothing. So let's go ahead and do that now. In fact, I do not need this running because I'll have to restart to try the changes anyway. So where am I handling that? I've decided to use common events upon on-click commands. That way, I can control more of it in game. So when I deactivate the switch and it says Lumberjack off, well, yeah, that happened. It's legit. It's canon. Lumberjack off. Switch. It's a switch, T.
Yeah.
We're going to control a variable as well, and we'll say current task, and we'll just use a script call, set it to nothing. So when we turn off the switch Lumberjack, when we turn Lumberjack off.
Wow.
Hey, it's the little things in life, okay? Do not rob me of my simple pleasures. Current task text will be set to nothing. And then, of course, by clicking it again, it'll... we have to do that here as well, because we're calling deactivate all else off. Copy. Let's see if it updates now. I want to do one small change at a time, and that way I can make little tiny baby step progress. Current task nothing. We're currently lumberjacking, so and then if we turn our lumberjack off, nothing. If we turn it back on, it's going. Off, nothing. On, there we go. So what we can do now is probably make a progress bar right here. Current task, let's make a long progress bar that goes here, and we'll use some kind of key to decide what's happening. But what it'll basically be is it'll show this yellow progress bar. We want to show the level, lumberjack progress, then we'll put the level of what we're training here, and then the bar. But the thing is, this will have to be not just straightforward. We'll have to use some kind of key or variable that stores what's there, because we're going to have more than just lumberjack. We're going to have like mining and smithing and farming and other things, right? Yeah. Okay. So let's do that now. What's the first step? Just probably making a variable to store that. I don't know. Let's bring up the Hud Maker and poke around. This will be on the main menu. We want the main menu to be, we want to let the player know that stuff is happening when stuff is happening. And since we're never going into scene battle and we're never going into scene menu, all the parallel processes never stop, which is good. That way, nothing is paused when you don't want it to be paused. And due to the nature of the way RPG Maker works, if you open the menu, like you go to check your items or whatever, well then it freezes. Nothing happens in main menu. That's right. No parallel processes will happen. Same thing if you're in battle, unless you call them. But they will not auto run. They will not parallel auto run. So we've completely disallowed. I'll show you in the startup here. When the game starts, we say, can the player open the menu? No more can they open the menu. Can they save the game on their own? No, they cannot open the save menu. Can they change formation? No. We're disabling all of the controls to get into scene menu so nothing actually pauses. And we're setting the HUDs to be shown and then we're setting the one we want to use for main menu. And then we're turning switches on and initializing variables for every skill that currently exists. And right now it's just the prototype of Lumberjack. We're going to get this one nice and smooth and running and operational, and then we propagate that system across many different skills. I originally thought there'd be like 10, you know, variables up to 10, but I'm making room and leaving them blank, and so that I can have a convention, so that the next skill will be 21. So like mining skill will be 21, and then you have 20 variables that will all be associated with not that we'll use all 20, but we're making space for 20 different variables that are associated with that one type of skill. And that way I can keep a convention. So Lumberjack skill will be 1, and then mining skill will be 21. But then Lumberjack current progress will be 2, and then mining current progress will be 22. And max progress 3, and then 23, 43, 63. And that way when I'm trying to figure out what I'm like in the middle of a system or writing a script call or something, I'll just know based on the convention that I wrote what I'm looking for. Because if I just randomly pick the numbers one after another, I'm gonna have a hard time keeping track. It'll be easy at the beginning and a big spaghetti monster at the end. So we're looking at a little bit of foresight in setting up our conventions and numbering patterns. Okay. Credits. So far all I've used is artwork created by Luis Zuno at Anzimus, and I'm using his CC0 stuff right now, but I'm still crediting him. Wait, didn't we just use a new thing? We did use a new thing. A font, right? We used a new font. Let's find that. Let's just put that in there. Do I have to open Google Fonts again? I do. It's okay. Let's just find the name. I saw the name and I thought about doing that, but, you know, my brain betrays me. Let's go to history and Roboto condensed Google Fonts. And this is designed by Christian Robertson. Okay, so let's go ahead and just make another quick little comment. Roboto condensed font designed by Christian Robertson. There we go. There we go. All credited. All credited up. It's good to do that. I think it's really important to do that. Not that you have to make it in a common event and make it in credits, but this is a good way to like really bake it into the game, because I've often just used a text file that gets overlooked sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Keep it all in the in-game development.
Right.
Yeah.
It was my same thinking behind when I'm setting these up. Like, what happens when you click this? Well, you can make a script call that's run, the code's run on Hud Maker, but it gets really convoluted later on when you want to look through all that stuff. It's easier to say, let's call a common event. And then it also makes it easier to just run things with the event system and not have to know all the code when it's something simple.
I agree with that.
And we call a common event when it's clicked, and that lets me still put more back into the, so that I'm using MZ as much as possible and the third-party programs as least as possible. So I can just control those common events. Also, if I'm doing it this way and I have a lot of buttons that call that same script call, I'm either copy pasting that code 100 times for all the buttons, or I'm just putting it in one common event and calling the common event. And when I need to change that, I don't have to change 100 things inside SRD's Hud Maker. I just change the one common event.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Word of the day, propagate.
Propagate is a cool word.
All right, what's the next step that we should be doing? When you're wondering what you should be doing, you play your game. And you're like, all right, what do I want it to be like? What is the thing? So I think this is probably important to show that we need to have like main for now. So I'll just say like main menu right here at the top. So we'll just make that real quick. Easy text. Main menu. Add a new component of text, and it'll just be like menu text. I'll go through and add like animations and stuff later, probably. Let's go with hue 0 to 360.
I hear thunder rumbling.
Yeah, our power went out last night.
Apparently there was a tornado warning yesterday.
Damn. We'll make it 6 seconds. It will, and over the course of 6 seconds, it will hue slide all the way from its original color to another color. But wait, I don't think that's going to apply on text. Exposition? Property hue. I don't think this applies. Damn it, did it just erase that stuff? It's fine. It's okay. I don't know if you can hue text. I think that doesn't apply. If so, that's new to me. We'll make the font size 42069. Put this up here, right in the center. Save, reload. It's unfortunate that it doesn't auto refresh anymore, and I don't know what happened or changed to cause that to not auto refresh and require we do a restart. That was like a really cool feature. Now we have scrolly text. Why is it scrolling? Why is it scrolling like that again? I don't believe I did the thing to make it do that. What the fuck? Not that I dislike it that much. Exposition, right. I think I would... There is no changing. It's other things? Excuse me? What? Are you guys seeing this? It's not changing the property? It's like... Huh. Is it because you could only change the exposition on text, or am I experiencing a bug here? What's up, Nerd Mansion? How you doing, man? Yeah, he's doing other stuff. What's up, Gregory DeValk? How are you doing today? You've been searching. Am I aware of any games that use Kokoro reflection tile sets? Not that I can't even say for sure what that is right now. Yeah, I noticed that too, Heartless. The icon might be changed. You're right. There's like a... It's like it wasn't lined up properly in the icon set. That would be my doing, most likely. When I made the icon set. Sorry for the delayed response. Did I manage to get to day 20 in Muck last time? No, we made day 19. Thanks to Manu. I do have the most recent version of Hud Maker. I downloaded it directly from the itch. And now here's the thing. If you've seen the other stream, you know that there's a weirdness because the the about shows the not the right... What the fuck is it? The about shows the wrong version. But I downloaded the right version, the full version, the most recent up-to-date. And I did that live. Where do you find that? It just... Settings? It's in settings, right? As about. Man, I feel like my brain is just not working today. There's an about button on here somewhere that shows the version, and it shows 1.1, but it's supposed to be 1.2. And I think it is 1.2, but it says 1.1. But I do have some bugs, and I don't know how to explain some of them. Did the about disappear? What is happening? MZ editor location? What is MZ? What is MZ editor? Is this supposed to be for the show, the text, the script call? Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Honey, my brain is I'm just like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
Do you remember the about button? There was an about that showed the project.
Maybe it's like the splash screen tells.
Nah, it was a little pop up.
Huh. Yeah,
that shows.
I do remember you showing it, so I know it exists. But where it went.
Did this get? I
distinctly remember it.
F1. F1.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. So look, 1.1, but it's supposed to be 1.2, but I downloaded the 1.2, and this is what's in the 1.2. And I remember doing this, and it drove me nuts last time.
Yeah.
It drove me nuts last time. Yeah. I'm going to hit all the F keys to see what happens. MZ editor location, where on your computer mz's.exe file is located. Okay, is that what that's supposed to point at? Let's go to settings. That will be in Steam, right? I can find that real quick. Hold on. Quick trick to that is just go here, properties. And then you go like local files, browse. And you got this, and you just go like, is it in here? This is the file path, so we can copy this as text and then go here and paste it, and that's where it's at, and then we select that folder, confirm. Will that change anything? Was that supposed to change something? What was that supposed to do? Selecting the editor location, I have no idea. Obviously it wasn't. Maybe that's a problem somewhere along the line. I don't know. You don't need this up. Do you use this, KB? You use SRD's Hud Maker? Huh. That's weird. Now it lets me change on another one. So if I were to go here and say hue, and then say start hue 360 and hue 3, or no, start 0, 360 duration 180. As a hue, we'll do that repeating on create. Yeah, that's fine. Continue from current. Sure. Okay. So that was just a weird little bug that locked it into X position for some reason. Like data was inputted that couldn't be converted into another drop down, so it just switched to that. I don't know, but we'll save that, reload that, and see if this project is still running. It is still running. It doesn't seem to refresh anymore, right? And that's what I don't understand, why it stopped doing the refresh, like the auto refresh. Now I have to hit F5 and go into it again. And as I suspected, because I've tested this before, but I wanted to try again, the hue does not change on text. If I put a picture up here, it would do like a color change. I made a tutorial for you, Kate, for you. You know I don't, obviously, KV. I don't remember shit. I can't focus. I can't remember anything. I'm a mess. I'm really a mess. Thank you, honey. Yeah, I see the artifacting here. We can decide to change the icon set. I mean, maybe not the icon set, but change the icon. It would be a cool feature if it would let you click on here and see the... I remember talking about this on another stream, but like, you know how like in RPG Maker you can click on it and it circles, or it puts a box around the number and then tells you the number down here? It would be a cool feature if it was possible to add that inside the Hud Maker, but I mean, it's not that big of a deal because you can still open up the engine, and you want to do as much in the engine as you possibly can anyway, so. D757. How are you doing, man? T tries her best to take care of me. She's a sweetie.
No, Drifty's a sweetie.
So this is going to be for lumberjacking. Maybe we use this one. This is Kaz's icons. I don't have all of Kaz's icon sets. She keeps making new ones. They're really cool. 50 or 4875. So let's change that to 4875. It's probably gonna look better. I really wish the refreshing thing would work, or he is our sweetie T.
Drifty has enough sweetness to share. He's just oozing with sweetness.
I'm everybody's sweetie. So I'm the hoe. Wow, it's just my icon set. Like, it's off a little bit, you see? When I added these in here.
Oh, it's nice now.
But do you see the little artifacting right here? Little line?
That one looks a lot better than the last one.
It's equally well, it's not as bad. Yeah, it looks better. We'll leave it at that for now. But I would definitely want to fix that because you can see it's more square.
It looks like it's just a pixel off, like the alignment.
It is. Well, that's because it is.
Yeah.
And I don't have the patience to go into the icon set and move everything over exactly. How you doing, Excise Gaming? He says, good afternoon. I'm new to RPG Maker and saw some of your tutorials come by. Really helpful. Now to catch you live is great. Hope to see more tutorial videos with detailed explanation for beginners for RPG Maker.
You know, we've been talking about doing some more tutorials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've got the itch.
Well, I just know that it's there. I don't get comments usually for like live streams like a year from now. Hey, thanks for doing that live stream. Like,
yeah, it doesn't happen.
Live streams are for people who are here today.
Yeah.
But tutorials are for people who show up a year from now and need it.
Tutorials are evergreen.
Mm-hmm. And I get comments like I did last night. Another one saying, I'm new and I've been watching your tutorials and they've helped me a lot, blah, 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 right? And it's like from 5 years ago, 4.5 years ago.
I think tutorials are the reason why my channel still gets subscribers. Like, I'll get a subscriber and I'm like, but why? Because I haven't put anything out. How long has it been since I put something on my channel? Like over a year?
I don't know.
But it's tutorials. Tutorials just, they stay relevant for a very long time.
They do. They do. As long as the engine is still being used by somebody and nothing monumental has been changed, then they're still relevant. And as long as the information given, even if it's an opinionated one, as long as it's a method that actually does work, even if there's a better method, that is another method that you can do. And I start by saying that in a lot of my tutorials. I'm like, there's a million ways to do this. This is one way that I've learned to do it, and here's how you can copy it.
And you got to have that, like, mentality too, because one thing about doing tutorials is that you feel kind of vulnerable, because if you like tell people how to do something like not the most efficient way, or somebody comes along and they're like, duh, that's a stupid way to do it, you could do it this way much easier, you feel a little wounded, you know, like your ego gets bruised because you're like,
well, at
hey,
first
I'm going to teach some people some stuff, right? You have to like,
at first
you have to get a thick skin and get that mentality of, well, this may not be the best method, but this is the one I'm showing you, so take it or leave it.
It goes away.
Yeah.
Like after a while, you realize like
there's 100 ways to do something.
And I start by saying that, and that
Yeah.
that clears my conscience of anyone saying you're doing it the hard way, and I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. Just I'm willing to be proven wrong, and I don't really care too much too.
Yeah. The one I want to do, the one that
Your pride will get in your way. If
can.
you let your pride get
Your
in the
ego.
way, your ego and your
Yeah.
pride will fuck you up, man. You have to let that shit go.
You do. You really do. The one I'm itching to do right now is not actually just, well, I mean, it is a specific RPG Maker tutorial, but it's about a third-party software. I want to show people how to use GIMP to do common RPG Maker things.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Should I use a variable for it?
Yeah, Excise Gaming, our Discord link is in the description below. You should totally join. By far the best way to get a hold of us.
Current skill key. All right, I'm gonna do a weird thing here. I'm gonna make a variable called current skill key, and we're gonna set it to, I guess, 1 for now. That way it has some base value.
Hello, human.
And this is going to select the variable that of the skill that we're using. All right. So upon running a thing, we're going to have to control something. We're going to control a variable, and we're going to set the current skill key, set it to the number that is the skill variable for that skill that is being turned on. In this case, it's lumberjack, and the skill for lumberjack's variable is being stored as 1. So I'm going to set current skill key to 1. Now I only have 1 skill, so it's hard to really test this. So I think what I may do is just temporarily say mining is going to be variable 21. So I'm going to control my variables real quick, change the maximum to 100, and I'm going to say at 21 we're going to set our our mining skill. So this will be mining skill. All right, even though this doesn't exist yet, I need it to be able to be there so that I can switch back and forth to test. So we've got mining skill, yada yada yada. We don't actually need it there, I just needed to set it up. In fact, by initializing it and setting it to 21, we can test to see if it starts on mining skill and then goes into showing lumberjack skill when I click to train it. So I would need at least these two, or no, it'd be these two. Or maybe I put both. I should put both, because we want a really good UI. The whole point of this idle RPG is to make a really slick looking UI that feels good to have idle on the side, right? What's up, human? How you doing, man? We enjoy talking about grammar and the metric system. It is really good. I've encountered a few things, a few issues, but nothing that's like breaking. Nothing that's game breaking or like deciding is not worth it. And one of the issues I had was a specific to my case issue that most people would probably not encounter. But that actually got fixed as soon as SRD actually figured out the issue. He fixed it, and it was like later that day too. So any real big issues that come up, you know, there's a chance that it gets fixed so that the thing stays usable. Is it worth the money? I think so. I do, in my opinion. I think it's a really cool tool. Cool tools. All right, before I get too distracted, current skill key will be set to 21 by default, but when we run Lumberjack, current skill key will be set to 1. Now that we have that in our HUD Maker, we need some kind of interpreter. It's kind of weird because I want this number to change depending on what skill we're using. So not only does it need to change from 1 to 21, it needs to look at the value that is in variable 1 and 21 and display them as such. So that's kind of a complicated issue. I'm gonna have to come back to this because I'm not sure how to do it and I've hit the wall with it, but I can figure it out. I've done stuff like this before using keys. See how it says 19 is blank? What we need to do is hit reload the project. And it should populate. Did I set 19 to something? I did I not? Ronin ID. I'm using variable 19. Variable current skill key equals 1. Oh, I didn't save the game. I have to save the game. Oh my god. And then reload. That would be a problem. Now it says current skill. Hey, Moogle Rampage. What's up, dude? What do you want about today? This will be the current skill
Hi, Zarsla.
prog bar. Hey, Zarsla. A small gender plugin? That sounds kinky. Working on node tags. I'm just messing with Zarsla.
You're just being drifty.
Hey, Ryudo. Shikimori. Is that a Japanese name? Sounds Japanese. Hajimemashite. What am I doing? I think I'm gonna put that on the back burner. Also, I don't want it to be two colors. Specifically, just kind of want it to be... It's progress bar. I think I was going with just a green color. It's kind of a dark green color. Current skill progress bar. Current skill prog. Width, height was 16. There we go. The minimum number, I mean, it's going to be, I can cheese it and just show Lumberjack right now, which I'll do, but I'm going to change this so that it'll switch when I go to mining. I'm going to copy this and paste it underneath it. And this one is going to be a different color. And it's going to be the current experience and max experience. And the same thing with the next component, which will be this one. That's the current task. Nope, we're going to add another one. Current skill progress. We got to change the name of this. Current skill EXP bar. Prog bar. This is all going to be inside the main HUD. And why we're putting it inside of the main HUD is so that we can kind of do that when we want to, but also I don't know why it's showing it on the other monitor. That's weird. But the display conditions are switch 1. So if I ever want to make a scene on the main menu, like a pop-up that everything goes away, I can just turn off switch 1. And I don't have to set that for every one of these conditions. It saves me time if I put them all in like one HUD thingy. And that way I can just configure that switch 1 is used for all of these ones. And I use right click and move with right click to put them all like in that thing. Also, it lets me move them all at the same time. So if I wanted to, what is it, shift click or alt control click? If I wanted to move everything, you see, can move everything with that. That's also going to save some time. Otherwise, all of the components, if you move one thing, you got to move them all, and that it's a little time saver. Stay Awake Games, how you doing? I use Galv's layer graphics. Galv's got some cool stuff. Oh, that's in response to Ryudo's saying what plugin should you use for parallax mapping? Yeah. TBBD. Well, there you go. Galv's layer graphics. I have a couple tutorials on Galv's layer graphics on how to make fog and some other stuff.
I tried to use that for my parallax mappings, and I got like some weird bug where I was using it for the top layer, and it was always blurry for some reason, and I couldn't get it to stop being blurry.
Really?
So I moved to using show picture.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why I couldn't get it fixed, but apparently I'm not the only person who's that's come out blurry for. It's like something that happens sometimes. I don't know.
All right, let's save that and reload this. Unfortunately, it doesn't auto-refresh anymore. I'm going to have to ask Vino and or SRD about what's going on with the auto-refresh.
That's good that you're not getting blur issues. Stay awake. Apparently most people don't, but a handful of people do.
I'll just F5 and load like most games would expect you to have to do. You make changes, you have to reload it. SRD's HUD Maker was unique in that fact. See now what's happening is, oh yeah, I have to change one more thing. You see how this is the first bug I had. It looks like it's going to 95% and then going down to 20%, and that's because the interval isn't updated properly on these bars. So you have to change the duration from 20 to 1 frame. These are frames. It took me a little while to figure this one out, but you'll see that it'll update and fix it immediately. The variables were changing properly. Everything was done right. It's just the display. So at the beginning, we've got current task nothing, and it's got 1. I should probably maybe not. This has got to be changed because right now this is only going to show lumberjack. But what I want this to change to is whatever skill I'm working on to show that skill's number and that skill's progress and that skill's experience bar. So we're going to train this one, and you can see this is like. Inside the lumberjack one, we should change this next so it says lumberjack at the top, and this is like basic log. And not only does it fill the bar up, but it should be giving you items every time it fills up too. But if we go back, you see that it's lumberjack progress. We're on level 1, and it's filling up the bar here, and this is our experience. So I'm debating if I want the progress bar to be on top with the experience underneath, or the progress bar on the bottom with the experience above. I don't know. What do you guys think? I kind of feel like...
Bottom.
Bottom what?
The progress bar on the bottom.
So this is the green is the progress bar and the experience bar is the yellow. So you like this style.
No.
You like this style.
Sorry. I like it at the bottom of the screen.
You like what at the bottom of the screen?
The bar, all the bars. I like it at the bottom of the screen.
You're not paying attention.
Nope.
So you don't even know what I'm talking about.
I heard bottom and I saw that there was a bar at the top and a bar at the bottom.
You don't know what I'm talking about.
But
I'm talking. Okay, in here is the lumberjack menu. All right.
it should be at the top.
Do you care?
It should be at the top.
Do you care?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I just didn't happen to be paying attention at that moment.
All right. Well, let me explain what's happening.
Okay.
This is going to be the lumberjack menu. Inside this menu, you're going to have like basic log, second level log, third level log, fourth level log.
Yeah.
The bars for the logs will be right next to each other.
Right.
And we click them on here, and lumberjack is going to stay at the top. And we can select something to train. And when we hit back, this is going to say lumberjacking and then mining right here and then smithing and yada, yada, yada. But whatever is going on inside the submenus, the progress that we're currently doing is going to show at the bottom here. All right. So what I'm asking is we have two bars, right? The green one is the progress, like for that simple task.
Right.
Right.
I think it should show at the top of the two bars. Above the experience bar, I think is cooler than below it.
Okay, look at this one, right? You got yellow on top.
Yeah.
Now you got yellow on bottom.
Right.
All I'm asking is, what color should go where? Yellow on top or green on top?
That's what I'm answering. I think the green should go on top.
That's what I thought too, right here. Right? Because after doing it like this, and then I accidentally did backwards, I was like, well, now I have to decide which one do I like better. I kind of like this one better.
Me too.
So what I'll do is I'll just switch this around. Progress above experience. That seems to be the consensus here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Luke.
No, I was totally not paying attention.
I know.
I'm thinking about parallax mapping right now. We're having a fabulous discussion about parallax
But
mapping.
when you like butt in and you're like, it should be like this, I'm like, well, you're not even paying attention, nor do you understand the question.
I saw a bar at the top of the page, and I saw a bar at the bottom, and so that's what I thought you were talking about.
That's just your ADD, and I'm not going to hold that against you.
Thank you.
All right, so let's swap those around.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, Luke might be a gamer. You're working on Tileset DLC? Is it like a type of DLC that we might be familiar with, or is it a new Tileset DLC that's coming out? Are you at liberty to say that? Stay Away Games asked, does it blur for other people that play your game or just local? I don't know. It seems crystal no, actually you can't see it because it's wait. Jeez, I did so many different things that day I can't even remember. I think it was just on the playtest it blurred, so I'm going to assume that a deployed game would also blur. Oh, you bought the DLC and you're setting it up. See, I thought you were making a Tileset DLC. I misunderstood your comment. But yeah, I didn't try to deploy a game, Stay Away Games, to see if it blurred at that point. I just was playtesting it. Pictures work well, so I think I'm just gonna go with that. I'm actually not using any plugins for my parallax mapping, but I am using plugins for the collisions. Light might be a gamer. Is there a sample project for with the Trinity resources? I don't recall. Is there a sample project with those? Hold on, let me look. Because if so, you can just copy and paste the settings. You don't have to set them all up. Oh, there isn't. Bummer. Yeah, Moogler M page, I actually thought the same thing, that it could be a plugin conflict, so I actually made it so that was the only plugin that I had working to see if that made a difference, and it didn't, so I don't think it's a plugin conflict. I think it's like maybe a resolution thing, because I have a different resolution set or something.
It's just disappearing. Where's it go? Where'd it go? Shit. Lumberjack, where are you going? Lumberjack, what's going on? Where are you going? Come back, come back.
It's running away. It doesn't want to be there anymore.
No. Okay, hold on.
It's like increasing along with the gauge.
I mean, that's not what's supposed to happen.
Speaking of DLCs, is the Japanese pack for MV character generator worth it? I don't know. You have to decide if it's worth it to you. That question is totally relative. Is it worth it to you and your project?
Oh, I
Is
know
it worth
what
it to me?
happened.
No, because I'm not going to use it, so it would be a waste of money for me. So, but it might be worth it to
I know
you.
what happened. This is messed up. I figured this error out before. I have to take everything out of this HUD first. Damn it. So this is a weird little thing. It's not a bug. It's just the way the thing works. All right, so now that I have this here at 0, 0, this needs to be 0, 0. Now that we have that at 0, 0, everything can be inside of this. Come on, sometimes it's weird. Oh my god, please. Is it crashing? What the fuck is happening? Oh, it crashed. Oh! That's the first actual crash I've had with this program. Didn't save that last shit I did. It's okay. I'm right-clicking and holding and dragging and dropping. So I've removed everything from this HUD. I'm going to set this to 0, 0 without adjusting anything inside of it. And then I'm going to right-click and drag this to try to put it... There we go. Now it's easy once you get that first one. Right-click, drag, drop. Now this is relative. And that might change some things. There we go. See what I'm saying? It's not a bug. That's just like how it works. But I wanted it to repeat and go backwards. It's not repeating. Did it not? I put it on repeat. It just crashed afterward and didn't save it. Okay, that's fine.
Another thing, Luke might be a gamer, is if the tile sets are set up the same as the default tile sets, like the same kind of tiles in the same areas, you could copy and paste. Can you? You should be able to. See, now I'm questioning myself. Actually, I don't know.
Oh,
I want to say you should be able to copy and paste the settings and then just change the image, but I'm not.
Back and forth, not repeat. Also, needs to be over less time. Let's do 3 seconds.
Yeah, you should be able to copy and paste the tile sets to a default, or just replace the images in a default tile set. And most of the settings should be set up for you. You might have to go through and make a few changes, but most of it should be set up.
I think that's unnecessary. I'm not going to mess around with too much with that. Doing this, moving back and forth is kind of unnecessary and stupid. I did see an error. I moved these and put them back in the wrong order. I do need the... they'll draw them in order from the top to the bottom. And since I move the bars around, I also move the text around. I need the text to be above the rest of them. So let's find that text. This one. It needs to be right down here. Like that. So this is, it draws these bars and then it draws that. Another thing to keep in mind is the train button needs to be above the lumberjack button. Button background. That's what we're going to call that. And then the lumberjack button text needs to be on top of that. Which it was currently fine, but now it looks better from a developer's point of view. Back button I don't want to be obstructed. So yeah, we want that in there. That's what she said. Tight. All right, that'll be fine. Regular log. Now what we need to do is create our database and decide, do we want to use the item system or do we want to store our items in our own variables? That's a tough question, because if we're going to use the items like the game's built-in item management system, we already know we're not using the menu. We're not going to use the game's menu, because if we jump into scene menu, we freeze all our parallels and we stop the player's progress. We never want to do that. Which means we have to design our own inventory from scratch. So I think our best option is to avoid any type of obfuscations and not use any other built-in things if we're going to have to do it from scratch. Anyway, we keep our hands free, we keep our hands untied and unbound to other types of data that could be required for what's used in the JSON to storing items. The problem here is it's very convenient. Convenience is our problem, right? Because it's convenient to make and use the database to make our items. It's very convenient to write down and make our items in here. Because if we do it from scratch, I mean, we can still use this, but we're beholden to whatever formatting each of these items have. So I can literally say variable 101 is regular logs. Variable 102 is the, I don't know, birch logs or whatever we call it. I don't know what we're going to call it yet. But you know what I'm saying, right? I can pick a variable and write a key somewhere, maybe even inside the database, just as a placeholder for a point of reference. Or do we want to use this item database JSON data? So I'm torn. I don't know yet. There is a way to just take a track of how many of this item the player has in their inventory and store that in a variable, but then it seems like an extra step if that's all we're going to be doing. Instead, we can bypass trying to do that process and just say variable 1 is this, or variable 101 is this item, variable 102 is this item, yada, 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 yada. Okay, I'm going to start by using the database items. And if I feel like it's just an overcomplicated step, and all I'm doing is creating a common event that says take the number of this item in the party and store that into the variable, like constantly, which I think that's going to happen anytime I'm checking for any type of crafting, then I just bypass that and go with the variables. But for now, it's nice to have the ability to click on this tab and see all the items that are currently created and their statistics that are built into any prototypes of that item, like any data that's stored in that object. Anyway, let's just call this regular log. We don't really need to give a description unless we want to call that description. But let's go ahead and fill it out anyway. Maybe we'll figure out a way to make that convenient. Wrath of Wood, that's what I'm saying. I know how to do that. But if that's all... I don't want to just say what I just said. What is log? It's a chopped down tree. Are you trolling me? I gotta pee. I can't deal with this shit right now. The irony is his name is Wrath of Wood. Asking what is a log? Epic troll.
Poor Drifty. He's having a rough day today. How's your guys' day going? You having a rough day or you having a good day? Life is just full of ups and downs, isn't it? I am working on my parallax map, which is definitely a down. I need to write a plugin to make this work, and I don't want to, and that stinks. Because I don't even know if I can. I'm a mediocre coder at best. I mean, it's good enough, but it's got stupid collisions that, like, people are gonna be like, why can't I walk here?
What's going on?
Oh, I'm just talking about my parallax mapping journey here. If I want it to be perfect like I visualize, I need to write a plugin, but I'm not sure if I even know how. So that's a little demotivating, or whatever the frig you'd call it.
A collision?
Yeah, I need to make
Collision
a movement, a movement and a collision
Fucking
plugin.
good luck.
I know.
There's people who can do it, but I mean, hope you're not asking me for help with that.
Nope.
I have no idea, man.
I'll make it myself if I have to, but it'll be nothing but pain and suffering because I'm a really bad coder. So.
Yeah, and maybe never happen.
It'll
either.
maybe probably never happen. Yeah.
You just bang your head against the fucking keyboard for a month. Like I did with MZMMO's
You know, it could be
netcode.
fun though.
I did make progress.
It could be
You
fun.
will learn along the way.
That's the thing.
You
yeah,
will learn. You may
do
not
learn.
get what you want, but you'll get somewhere.
That's how you transcend from being a terrible coder to a better coder, right?
Yeah, that time's doing it for years.
Exactly. So I just need to feel the pain a few more years. No big deal.
You have to make it a lifestyle. You have to do it like every day.
Yeah.
Almost every day, at least.
I know. I have to pick.
When
'cause
we
I
were-
want to
when
do
we were-
art and I want to do coding.
When you can't do it all.
I know, you
I
can't
was,
do it all.
You know, remember this story I told T a while ago? When I was a young kid in band class, I wanted to play every instrument. And, you know, as a kid, you think you can do it all. And as a young adult, you feel invincible and you feel like you have the time for everything. But you don't. You have to pick what you want to do. You have to get good at that. And you have to stay good at that.
Yep.
And like,
You have to,
you
like-
can't, you will not
You
have
have to
time.
focus on something.
You will not have time to do everything you want to do. That's the bottom line. That's what you have to understand. You have
Yeah.
to pick what you want to do and focus on that. And yeah, it does require some sacrifice and decision making because we want to do everything. I want to play every instrument. I know how to play a lot of instruments, but I'm only good at a few things, right?
Yeah.
I'm only actually decent at a few of them.
So I asked everybody how their day was going. Jacob started it off with "Work is brutal to Faye."
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
That's a very good description of how things are going. Dot
100.
today. Yep.
100.
Wrath of Wood says, hot and sweaty today, frig my life. Yep. Kind of a slow day for me for KV. But too busy to get all the things he wants done. Sounds about right.
That's every day.
Yeah, Luke says good day. Good day. I'm proud of you, Luke. Keep it up. Hopefully you have good days for a long time. Another Luke says kind of rough one on my end. Migraines stink. I just got over a migraine yesterday. I had a 2-day splitting migraine. I mean, I have the whole gamut. Some of them just drive me absolutely crazy, and other ones are like, yeah, I have a migraine. I'm a little nauseous, slight sensitive. My head hurts a little.
Sure,
the last
KV.
one sucked.
Sure, KV, but are you good at them all? Right? What I mean by
all the
play
rock
is
instruments anyways.
get good at them.
Yeah.
Right. I can make noise on many instruments, sure.
Oh, Polka says, I want to speak every language, but I'm still stuck on the first one. Same. I spent 2 years studying French, and I think I forgot it all.
I don't want to
I know a
speak
couple words.
every
It's
language,
not much,
but
though.
I think it would be important in my line of work to speak Japanese, and
That's a really hard language to learn, because you don't
Yeah.
just learn a language. You have to learn how to, like, sing, essentially. It's a melodic language, so it makes it even more difficult. And then if you want to write it, you have to learn all the characters. It's like one of the hardest languages to learn.
yeah. And I don't predict being good at it in the near future.
Luke, I hope
But
your migraines
maybe-
get better. You know what? They are what they are. Whatever. We took the kids to the zoo on my first day of my migraine because, you know what? I'm not going to let stupid headaches get me down. I'm going to live my life. Yeah. I had some contacts left over, so I was able to put them in and wear sunglasses, which was a plus. One of these days, I'll actually, like, spend the money on getting prescription sunglasses. But they're expensive. They're like $300. And no insurance covers them. They're like, you know what? Just let your eyes be burned by the sun.
What is going on with some of these weird bugs? Look at this. Consumable, yes or no? It's like popping out of the middle here.
I don't know. MV completely stopped working for me, the standalone version.
I'm using MZ though.
I know, but like I can't even play any of my games on MV. I have no idea what's happening. I totally broke it. I don't blame the software. I know I did something stupid because I kept uninstalling it, reinstalling it. Like I was doing all kinds of weird stuff and I just borked it. T is more hardcore than we'll ever know. Nah, T's just a little masochistic, that's all. A week-long migraine? Oh my god. Mine lasts like 3 days at the most. Generally, they last 2 days. By the second day, they're getting a little better.
All right, so when the progress...
Realtron, whenever I get a bug in RM, I always blame the software. Yeah, you're one of the ones that dog me in support, aren't you, Realtron? What's your name? What do you keep emailing me as? Are you a return customer? I broke my computer. Fix it for me. Never my fault. Zarsla says she's having a good chill day making plugins. That's awesome. Debating if I should make a Zelda Hearts plugin or wait until I start my tutorial. Let's make a plugin series. Ooh. Hey, do that. Do that first. Let's make a plugin series. You should totally do that. And she says, actually, to get good at coding is yes, practice, but you get better by learning, and understanding theory helps a lot more than people give credit. Like, how do you do that, though? Practical advice. I don't know what that means. Does that mean, like, just jump in head first and do a project? That's what I tend to do. I have learned a lot doing that.
So what I want to make happen is when I'm training this, right, this bar fills up, boom. When it gets a little bit of progress, I want something to pop up like somewhere on the side, the top, the bottom, maybe the bottom, that shows the icon and the number of what you got, like boom, plus one regular logs, and it just fades away. So I'm going to try to make something like that happen. Maybe I turn on a switch that calls a common event that does something, or I do it I probably try to do it in Hud Maker.
Do it with magic.
You know what I mean? So like getting an item feels good because it's like pop. Of course, I want to keep the music and the sound effects to a minimum because it's an idle game. It's a very different type of beast. You don't want your idle game to interfere with the other things the person is doing. An idle game is not supposed to be the center of what the person's focusing on. It's supposed to be running on the side. just like running in the background. Like you guys don't even know, but I have an idle game running right now. And you see what's happening right here? I want to do this.
Plot twist.
I want to make this right here. So this idle game, it makes a little pop-up right here. And you get an ore. Check this shit out, right? So this is I want to make this game essentially, but like a watered down RPG Maker version of this game. This is using Node, and it's pretty badass. But okay, so you got this bar, right? And it's getting ore. I'm mining this coal, and it's telling me I'm getting 1, getting 2. I got 1. I got 1. Okay, I want to do that, right? So let's figure out how to do that. Now you guys know what I'm trying to do.
Moogler says, I'm having a meh day, a lot of trouble shooting and fixing stuff. Why are you shooting it before you fix it? You're not supposed to do that.
Huh? What are we talking about?
Moogler's comment. I'm having a meh day, a lot of trouble shooting and fixing stuff that I inexplicably inexplicably broke. Well,
Yeah.
it's because you're shooting it. Stop shooting it and they won't be broken. I know you meant troubleshooting, but you made it 2 different words and that just gave me the tickles inside. I'm sorry.
Oh. Okay, what icon did we decide to use in our database for that? It's 4800. All right.
Ah, Tony Dev says, I'm not having a good morning. My mom had a car wreck.
That sucks.
Hope
dude.
she's
Sorry
okay.
about that.
Dang.
You got auto cucumbered, bro. I want to do that, so let's figure out how to do that.
Moogler, I'm
Right,
glad.
Jacob?
I'm glad you did. That was
That's
funny.
what I said, huh? All right. Isn't that everything in life? I want to do that. Let's figure out how to do that.
That's the plugin.
We
that's
don't
in
know
my
shit
head.
when we get started. We just have to figure it out.
Yeah.
This will be get item pop-up. Yeah, but like on the index, can I put a variable? I can't. That's good. That's good. It's good to know. We're gonna have to use variable 18. And we're gonna call it get item pop-up. All right, get item pop-up. So the variable will determine what item icon shows up. Great. We're going to be doing some animation on the Y position. And we're just going to run once, the duration of 3 seconds, in a linear curve. Starting position is going to be at the bottom. Let's see where this is at, naturally. 704. So 640, 704. Oh no, wait. Starting Y position 704.
So, fellow
We wanna
migraine
go up.
sufferers, I do have a question for you. What's the best painkiller that you've had for your migraines?
Maybe not that high.
I use Tylenol and Advil because I'm too lazy to like go to the doctor and try and get something else. But is there something that actually works?
Can reset to start on create. This will be a run once, and then we have to make a special condition for this to be displayed, and this will be a switch. So we're going to make a new switch. This is going to be called switch 4 if switch 4 is on. And let's go ahead and place this up here. Just, I mean, it's going to be off by default, but I'm going to put it in here. That's what she said, so she knows that it's working. This will be called get item pop-up. And I mean, it'll be set to off. It's already off, but now it's relevant. It's like we're going to be needing this one, so it's there. Get item pop-up, set to off. And what we'll do is when the bar fills up from getting the item, well, this is good. This might work. We get the item, and then we turn the switch on. Control switch. Switch 4 on. Yeah, that's what we'll do. All right, and so this icon should just like go up, and then we can change things. Since it is a picture, we have more control over what we can do with it. Why don't we increase the width scale from 100 to 200%? Maybe that's too drastic. 100 to 150 over the 180 seconds. Run once, linear on create. Let's change the opacity. Definitely want this one. We want to start at 100 and end at 0%. Run once, linear on create. But we don't want continue from current. We want to reset to start each time here. Reset to start. So when it comes back, the next item, it doesn't like pick up where it left off in the center and go to the top. It starts at the bottom again and resets at the bottom. Fix icon, yep, 32. This looks okay. We need to save the game and then reload the project. That way it doesn't just say 4, it says 4 get item pop up. Okay, that looks good. Now we
Realtron says just Advil, sleep, and prayer.
Need to actually restart this and see what happens if I did it right. Tell me that's it. Tell me that's it. Thing fills up and it gives me an item. No, it's not it. Okay, it's not giving it to me. 3 seconds is too long. It needs to be 2 seconds. But there's also something else happening that needs to be addressed. So this is going to have to be 120. So this only happens when switch 4 is on. Okay. On that one. So what's turning switch 4 on? When you get the item, switch 4 turns on and it should start that drawing process. What turns off the drawing process? You can't do a wait in here. It'll funk up the system. So like I'm thinking right now it should work and draw once, but it's not even drawing at all, so I'm doing something wrong. Custom font? I mean, I'm already using a Google font I like. It's not drawing, it's not doing shit. Alright. Why not? What's going on here? Why not? Display conditions that index, we get item pop up, which is set to 1. So we would have to change that as well. So that's good to consider now, even though it's not drawing. Control a variable. And our get item pop up variable needs to be set to the number of this item. which is item 1. So we're going to set this variable to item 1 so it chooses to draw. Oh no, it's not item. It's the icon that's being used in item 1. Oh, I just have to manually set it. That's going to be fun later on. Okay. So, you know, what you do is you go, item 1 is using 4800. So inside of that common event, when you do that, you need this variable, control variable. Nope. Yep, to be set to 4800. So then when it accesses that that variable, it knows what icon to draw. It draws icon 4800 of that icon set. Get the log, store that, turn on the switch. I still don't have a way to turn the switch off, so I'm not sure what's going to happen because it can't turn on a switch that's already on. And so it should draw once. When this bar fills up, it should draw once, and then even if it fills up again, it shouldn't draw anymore. But it's not drawing at all. So there's a problem there. And I don't know why, because technically it should be drawing there. Let's go back to here. This is an icon heads-up display component. Yes, we're saying play an icon. And the name is that. The display condition is the switch being on, which gets turned on. And maybe now that it's inside of the main HUD, it will work. I don't see why it would outside. It wouldn't make a fucking difference at all. Code property. Note. On hover. On click. Code behavior. Behavior. On create. You can put in some code that'll automatically. Oh. On destroy. But then manually. How do you determine when it's destroyed? We essentially want it to disappear after 2 seconds. So we can say on create, wait 2 seconds as a parallel wait. Is end opacity meant to be 0%? Yeah, it's supposed to become invisible. But it's supposed to start completely visible and become invisible. Good eye though, because if you start at a 0, it won't show. So all I did was put this into the main HUD like this. I made it a part of this, so I move everything around. I don't think that will cause it to change. Maybe it is drawing it off the screen for some reason. That's the most likely case.
If that's what you mean, Zarsla, I think I probably already covered that. I got the advanced algorithm certificate for, what is it called again? Free Code Camp. I've definitely studied the methods of JavaScript. I'm just not very good at remembering them, I think.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not drawing now. Like, isn't this updates in real time, like per frame? So the very frame that display conditions are met, it should draw this. I'm thinking it has something to do with the position, right? Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of the Y position, right? And let me just put it right here. It's visible. There's no changing in the Y position. Is it one of the animation properties that's causing it to be off screen? It should be drawing. When this bar fills up, it should draw the thing. It's not drawing it. Why? Why though? But why? But why no? How comes? So when the green bar fills up, then current progress is greater than or equal to max progress. And then this stuff here runs. It says set this back to 0, wait 1 frame. Add an experience point to the yellow bar, give an item, and then set a variable to the icon of the item you've obtained, and turn on the switch that will draw the item at the bottom of the screen. And then it runs a check to see if you've leveled up on that point too. And if you did level up, then set your experience back to 0, wait a frame, increase the skill level, and make the max experience a little bit higher. So the next level takes a little bit longer to get to. So, I mean, that seems fine, and this should be working. Obviously, this is working. This is doing what it's supposed to do. I mean, there's one way we can find out, right? Is we can just run a look at the console log to see if switch 4 turns on like it's supposed to. The conditions for this to display is switch 4 being on. Switch 4, get out if I was on. So if this condition is met, it should show this icon at this position with this scale, 100% opacity. The icon index being 480. Nope, 4,800. 4,800. Let's look at that again. Is that right? That's right. Icon 4,800. You know, look, that's it right there. So this is right. Icon index 4,800. It's picking the right icon. Because, you know, it's just a variable that's changing the number.
Yeah, I remember when I was coding, people kept saying coding is like 10% knowledge and 90% research, just looking up how to do your specific thing that you're looking to do. Sometimes that's how it goes.
Absolutely.
I've done some stuff with coding, like I've coded a few things, but I just feel like I have a hard time with math because I forget, like, I learn how to do it and then I forget how to do it. And I feel like it's the same with coding. Reading, no problem. Like, I do excellent with reading. I remember everything I read. But, like, certain things just, like, bleed out of my head. And I feel like coding is one of them.
Well, like Zarsel said, and I completely agree.
Research it.
It's mostly just finding the thing you need again.
Yeah.
And again. And, I've done that before. I did learn how to do that. But I have to look it up again. If you expect to just remember everything you've read, then you're dreaming. There's very few people can actually do that, less than 1%. And so if somebody asks me a question about a tutorial I made 4.5 years ago,
right?
Do you think I'm going to remember how I did that specific method? No.
Hell no.
Fuck no. I'm going to have to either look at my video or look at what he's trying to achieve and find a better way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't remember everything I've ever taught, and you won't either. So it's okay to you know... It's okay to relearn things you've already learned because you have to. You have to re-research them again.
Right. It's true. It is true. Yeah. I guess it's just like, again, I go back to the ego bruising. When you're like, hey, I used to know how to do this, and you feel like completely inadequate until you relearn how to do it. It's like, what am I, stupid or something? But I guess that's just how it goes sometimes. Some people are really good at it, though, and they just, like, they know it. But they're an anomaly.
Well, it's probably because they've recently had to do that.
Maybe, yeah, if they do it for work or whatever. Mm-hmm. Do it daily.
That's why I said you have to really kind of do it daily.
Yeah.
Remember when we were working on Cyberbarian every day? We got very, very far.
It's true. It's true. You'd be like, hey, I want to do this. And I'm like, oh, this is what we could do to do it.
We
and
were
would
doing
just, like,
full stack development because we did it every single day.
That's true. That's true.
And you know, now I'll look into Cyberbarian's code and I'm like, oh, yeah, I have an idea of what I was doing right there, but I can't remember how to spell that. Oh, I forgot the syntax. Mm-hmm. Oh, am I supposed to do a brace right here? Oh, yeah, I don't need the inline, but do I have to do this? You know, like, all of that, all of those little nuances.
But don't you find it a little discouraging when you look back and you see, like, that you were able to do it at one point, but you've forgotten it?
At first, but once you get over that, you realize that's the nature of the beast. and that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And even people who memorize things, it doesn't do them a ton of good in the very long run, because your APIs change, and the
That's
framework
true.
you're
That's
using is
true.
different, and
true.
a new version of this comes out, and
Even
it
if you do
depreciates
it-
this function, and prototypes
Yeah.
are renamed, and like all of that shit changes. So coding isn't really about memorization at all. It's about
Yeah.
learning how to find a solution to an existing problem.
That's true. Yeah, even if you do it every day, you still have to learn every day too.
I don't know what you're talking about, Neo. Increment a variable set inside that code. What code? And use a modulator. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what you're talking about.
I guess I feel insecure in my coding abilities. Imposter syndrome. And it's a big obstacle.
Well, it's because you've never had any official classes, and you've taken some online courses, but like you've learned by School of Hard Knocks, and you may have skipped some basic fundamental things, and that's, to be honest, that's probably the majority of the people who work on games right now. They've learned by what they've taught themselves, and you have to figure out, what do I need to know? Because there's so much information out there. You don't need to know it all. You don't. You need to know specifics of what you're working on.
Just what you're working
what's the
on.
next thing
Yeah.
that you have to tackle?
Right.
If you're in a group, where's the weak point? Do you have to fill in a weak point? Do you need to know about SQL databasing because nobody knows that?
Right.
Do you have to figure out, what's your role? Are you the art person because you've got 5 coders and nobody knows how to make pixel art? You just find your role and get good at your role, and that's why companies like to hire specialists. They
Right.
don't want a jack of all
trades.
Nah,
Yeah.
you go in there saying, I'm an idea man. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, I'm the designer. I kind of design it all. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You know what they need? Somebody specialized in one niche thing, so that when there's a problem in that area, the team can refer to your knowledge on that special area.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Yeah. You can't find any good text fonts? Sure you can, Luke.
Oh,
There's so
Google
many.
Fonts is just
I was just at Google
jam-packed.
Fonts today.
Yeah, and most of them are CCO.
I found like a font, like 50 really decent ones that would work. Everybody's the idea man. You just gotta realize that nobody's gonna pay you for your idea man status. Ideas are cheap. Ideas are cheap.
Execution is what really matters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you realize one of your ideas? Can you turn that into an MVP, a minimum viable product? Then that's what counts.
Well,
have a
maybe I
switch.
will try. Maybe I'll take a crack at it.
Don't smoke crack tea.
Think I'm gonna crack.
I'm kind of confused at why this isn't working to me. This isn't working for me. All right, let me get rid of all animation stuff completely, right? And all I'm saying is draw this icon at this location when a switch turns on. So now all that should be happening is it should just poof, an icon should pop up once when you get the item. I'm going to narrow it down, remove all the animations I put in to see if it was an animation that was causing the problem in the first place. Boom. Hey, there it is. Look, there's the icon. Okay, so it was an animation causing an issue. An animation effect causing an issue, because there it is.
Huh.
There it is. Good to know. Now, why, though? We've narrowed that down. I think that was a good approach. Let's do one thing. Let's change the Y position, right? Let's start with a duration over 2 seconds. Let's run once a linear curve starting at, what's its position? 704. We'll say 700. And then we want it to end at 600. Let's have it go up only 100 pixels.
Databases are fun, Zarsla. We worked with the database making CyberBaron. We used SQLite. It was a lot of fun, actually.
SQLite 3.
SQLite 3,
Yeah, and then for MZMMO, I'm using MySQL.
To be honest, I liked working on CyberBaron with the database more than anything else I've done. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I remember, maybe not anything else I've done, but like...
As far as coding.
Any coding project that I've messed with.
That's what I meant.
It was the most fun and rewarding.
Yeah. It was pretty
But
cool.
it's a spaghetti monster that I don't want to look at anymore. It's just it's so overwhelming now. It's like 10,000 lines of code, and half of it is like methods that could be rewritten much better. Shout out to Drag for helping us fix so many damn bugs.
Drag is one of those people who just seems to know the answer to everything instantly.
I would legit make the system work, but it would be like 280 lines of code.
He'd come through and do it like 30.
Yeah.
15.
Like 10 lines of code.
He's great too, because he's super humble and he's just like very patient and helpful with everything. So he doesn't make you feel like.
And I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. It's fine. It's good.
He doesn't make you feel like he's way better at it than you are, but he is way better at it than you are. Drag's cool. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he is. So we've added a Y position.
Zarsla, what we did, we
just
built
a single one at a time.
We built a Discord bot that interacts with SQLite to store data for people to like play on the Discord. Mainly, like the big reason why CyberBaron exists is to allow people to have first impressions. If they can't afford it monetarily, they can play CyberBaron and get them for free.
Check this out. So here's what's happening. This entire time it has been drawing it.
Lumberjack is just running away. Oh no, it's coming back.
You don't even know what the fuck I'm doing.
No, but it's funny.
I'm not talking about the text.
I'm
talking about the icon. Sorry, but like you're distracting from my point, and that's fine. But I found an epiphany, and I figured out what's happening, and I'm trying to explain it, and we're talking about something else that has nothing to do with what I'm trying to talk about. So what's happening is it's drawing it at its final point. It just goes straight to the end, and the animation that I had said start at 100% opacity and go to 0%. So it started at drawing it to 0. So it was the opacity, but for some reason it doesn't start at 100. It's just going straight to the ending point.
Is it doing it in one frame?
Apparently, yeah. So what's happening right now is instead of drawing at 700, when it comes in, it's just drawing it at 600. It's supposed to draw it at 700 and scroll up over 2 seconds.
But you have the duration, yeah. Huh. That's weird. Is there another duration somewhere else that's like influencing it?
No.
No.
So the HUD is being displayed. But
right thing says, be nice, Drifty. Yeah.
What do you mean? Am I not nice? I've been letting her talk all night, man. Like I was trying to describe my item, and she was talking to somebody, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I'll just type my item.
Yeah.
You know, there's some give and take.
Distracting. There's like two conversations happening.
T is a wrecking ball. You have to understand. There's no like love lost here. She's a wrecking ball. And if you let her, she will just roll right over you.
It's true. It's
true.
So
she told me in the past, and it's true, that I have to be forceful when I need the space.
Yeah.
And so I do.
I did.
And that works.
And I tell everybody I meet who I find that's very nice and kind.
She's all cute and tiny, and you think she's just very timid, but she will fuck you up.
I'm extremely aggressive and assertive, and it can just roll over some people. So I have to tell people, listen, you need to just tell me to back off, and I'll listen. I'm okay with that.
There's no tension here. This is what we deal with all day. Like, this is normal.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm trying to figure out what is causing it to just go straight to the ending point. That's what I said, Nerd Mention. I just said she's a wrecking ball. He doesn't like that term. Pen and paper, baby. What's up, Hank?
It doesn't help that I have like a healthy dose of ADD, so like my attention is in 600 different places at once.
Yeah, because I'll be talking about something, and then she'll come in, oh yeah, blah 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 blah, and like distract to the point where we're not even talking about.
I do, and I try so hard not to do that, but
I'm like, that's not what we were talking. That's not what I was talking about. I was
impulse control, guys. Impulse control. It's a thing. That's why people do drugs when they have ADD.
I don't hold it against her because at first I'm like, she's kind of rude, but like this is not. The first year was rough. I'm not gonna lie, but she's not rude. She's just, well, I mean, it could be appeared as rude, but really it's just she can't pay attention, can't focus, and like it's literally ADD. There's different types. I've seen all kinds of different types. I think I may have some of it a little bit, but she definitely has ADD.
Oh,
Would you agree?
So this is how the diagnostic procedure happened when I was young, and I was diagnosed incredibly young because apparently I have it incredibly bad. But the doctor told my mom, there's like this list of criteria, and she hits every single one at the highest point. I'm extremely ADD.
I'm like, look at the bottom of the screen right here. Do you see this little thing? And then T's like, yeah, at the top, there's this blah, 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 and how you're doing this. I'm like, no, the bottom. The top, no, the bottom. No, the top, no, the bottom. The bottom? Oh, the bottom, I don't know.
It's great. It's getting better as I get older, though, guys. I swear. You don't grow out of ADD, but you do learn to cope. I remember a doctor telling me one time when I was young, he was like, I was laying on the exam table and he's like, oh, you won't have ADD when you're older. And I was like, I won't? And he goes, yeah, that's only for children. Adults grow out of it. And I was like, yes! He totally lied to me. What a freaking liar.
He was trying to manifest destiny and help you to get over it.
That's
Poca
what
Latte
people
said,
believe.
distracted VTuber T was so fun, though.
I'm not approving this comment.
Nah, alright, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna have to hide you, dude. Hey, you like it, Hank?
Yes, ADD can
At least he had
definitely
fun.
be OCD.
At least it's worth his time, right?
Yeah.
Bye. All right. I'm still confused why it. So it seems like when this page is drawn, that's when the timer is starting, but I wish that this timer would start when the display conditions are met. And what's happening apparently is the animation is playing. The animation properties are playing at the beginning, even though it's invisible and not being drawn. That's what that's what it appears to be happening. So unfortunately, I don't know how to, because I mean, you don't want it up at all times. Yeah, Moogle. That seems to be what's happening. You don't want it up at all. No, Gold. If you have it for more than 4 hours, you better contact your doctor.
Contract a doctor.
Contract a doctor
He'll
right
be working
now.
for a while.
You better contract doctor syndrome. Maybe just do it with an event instead. Yeah, maybe, James. The problem is, how do you show picture with an event? I mean, how do you show an icon in show picture, right? Is there a way to just show an icon on the screen? I think Vigistella may have a plugin for that. Do we want to go that route? Forget the doctor. 4 nurses might be a better remedy. Perhaps. How would you do it with an event, James? Would you show picture? I mean, we're going to be using the icon set to show the items and the icons.
Neo says Visustella released an update that does this.
I thought I saw something like that. That's why that's why I mentioned it. What other animation properties can you add? Well, several, but here's what's happening. The animation has a start and a finish, right? But the start time happens upon rendering this scene, not upon display conditions being met, apparently. So by the time this gets drawn for the first time, it's already reached the point of end. Unless I increase the duration a lot, and then it's also like, what's the fucking point? So let's increase this up to more, right? So this is what, 10, 20 seconds? All right, let's see this. Wait, what am I changing here? Just the position now. That's all we're changing the position. All right, so let's have a look at this. Save that, and then we play this again. And we click on Lumberjack, we're training, and it should show it. Boom. And it's still going up there, right? It's slowly going up. We got the log. But it started drawing the log at the very bottom from the beginning, before it was even visible. And then it reaches the top point, and we have to figure out how to destroy this and repeat it. What we wanted to do is pop up and disappear. Like pop up and then turn it invisible and disappear. Pop up and then disappear. I mean, ultimately, there's a few things that we have to do. We have to have a point of turning off that switch. You can do picture or with a sprite. We're using a icon set, James. It says on create. What other options are there? It's in the advanced options, I'm pretty sure.
Wrath of Wood says the doctor probably lied when he said I had ADD. I think that was true of a lot of kids, but not me.
I think James may have found my solution. He's saying it's just an option that I'm setting. For this, he's saying like the activation is on create. Oh, there you go. Because it's starting the animation on create and it's being created upon rendering the scene, even though it's invisible, the timer starts there. So we have to change the basic run type to on show / hide. Let's see if this fixes it. And we can change the timing now to be twice as fast, right? So it should start like at the very, very bottom. Thank you, James.
Cool.
My dude, Mr. Brunwyn. I believe that would be the issue, wouldn't it?
Oh no.
Lumberjack
Wait,
train.
okay.
So when this hits, it should be at the bottom and start to go up. Boom. There it is.
Nice.
There it is, my good sir.
That's awesome.
Okay. So now we can add the other animations in and continue as such. It's all a learning process. Now that we know that, it's going to save us a lot of time in the future. Just to get to this point in using Hud Maker to do what I've done is taken a lot of these how do I do that moments.
My mind is blown at what you're doing on the Hud Maker, to be honest. I have no idea how to use it.
I should really make tutorials for this thing.
You really should.
Like basic,
I would watch them.
very simple tutorials. Here's how you make it do something, something. And then like 2 minutes. And then the next one.
Can I pay you to do that?
Somebody should pay me. Unfortunately, it's water from the same well.
It is, yeah. Me putting money in one pocket and then into the other.
Let me take money out your back pocket to put it in your front pocket. I'm okay with this. All right.
But I would totally watch them because if somebody cool like Drifty were to put out bite-sized, really awesome tutorials about the Hud Maker, I would probably use it in my game.
Stop it. Keep going, though.
Brian Press says, pay him now. KB says, yes, please, more Hud Maker tutorials. We've been talking about doing tutorials.
I have a few ideas.
That's the first step.
I actually have 2 tutorials that I want to make already, but it's just like
There's
I
so
said,
much
I can't focus.
And there's
I
so
can't.
much work.
Like by the time we're done with the stream, Lily's up, and
Yeah.
then she's dead all
Yeah.
day, and I love her to death. I love her so much.
Yeah.
But she will not let me focus and
She's
do work.
very demanding.
It's
very
feed me
demanding.
10 times a day because she'll eat 2 bites of it and then throw it on the ground, clean up my mess, change my stinky butts, and like it's so much work, and I love
Yeah.
her. Don't get me wrong.
And on the weekdays, it's
But
just like nonstop.
can't really
From the point
do
that we get up
anything.
till we go to sleep, we get a couple hours after she goes to bed, and that's it.
And I find myself doing tasks that allow me to walk away at an instant. Like I like games and movies because I pause the movie, deal with whatever baby needs, go back to the movie.
Yeah.
And I like idle games right now at this moment in my life because I'm able to just set them to do a thing for several hours while I'm doing other things, and I'm still making quote unquote progress in a video game that's releasing dopamine in my brain because I've grown up playing video games, so that sort of thing is appealing to me. That's why I like dungeon crawlers too, because they just constant progression. I like that in a video game. My own personal style, my own personal preferences inside of video games.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of watching something, guys, if you have never seen, like if you're into period films or series or anything like that, Poldark is a really cool series.
The Amazon Prime period piece we're talking about,
Yeah,
Poldark.
Poldark.
That's
what
a
Drippy and
good
I are
one.
into right now.
That's a pretty good one. We were looking at a bunch of different stuff over the weekend, and so many bad garbage things are released. It's just like, I don't try to be a critic, but I'm like, this is fucking awful. This is terrible, and they're trying too hard. Why so many lens flares? Why is there so much bloom? You can't even see what's going on the screen. Like, I was watching, it was the Underground Railroad for one episode.
Oh my gosh.
And like the storyline is cool,
It's
but of course
interesting.
it is not accurate
No.
at all.
No.
There was no fucking actual railroad underground. It was just the name for the term of like tunnels that they would dig.
Yeah.
And
I was
it's so
sad.
stupid.
I was sad.
And the worst part is
The
cinematography. You've got super bloom. You can't see what's on the screen way too often. You've got way too many special effects. No actual good B-roll footage that makes the scenes tie together with some sense of, I don't know. It's a mess.
And the audio was probably the most annoying part.
It was
It would go from
super
like
loud.
whisper quiet to
Yep.
blow your eardrums out frequently. If it did it like once, maybe per episode, fine, but it would do it like 5 times an episode, and it just was unbearable. It's too bad. We really wanted to watch it.
Show hide. So the problem was the animation type needed to be set to the basic on show/hide.
Speaking of Lily, she's awake. She seems happy in there, but she's awake. I finally got a monitor so I can watch her sleeping in her crib.
Yeah, it's nice. All right, well, let's see if we can get this to at least disappear properly. It is going to go to 1% opacity and not actually disappear. We need to turn the switch off, and that's what I was hoping to get to.
Yeah,
Get
Moogler, they
distracted,
put an
but-
actual railroad and a train underground, which did not
Check that
exist
out.
historically and was very
Tight.
disappointing. I thought it was going to be like at least loosely based on historical fact and like try to illustrate the struggles that people went through when they were escaping slavery through the Underground Railroad, but no, not at all. It's like some fantasy embellished fiction series.
I got it. I'm going to make a common event parallel process called 2-second timer. And that is just going to turn off the switch I want to turn off. I want to turn off get item pop-up after 2 seconds. So not on. That just off. So we turn that off. And then we're going to make this a parallel, and this will be switch 5, 2-second timer switch. Name 2-second timer, blah, blah, blah. So then when we're running it, whenever we want to time something for 2 seconds, we can do something like that. So we're going to put that inside of this, and we turn this switch on as well as another switch, control switch, 2-second timer on.
Moogler says it could be just misleading. That was what was
Oh,
disappointing to
actually-
me is that like people should know the true history of what happened, like the reality
Wait a
of it.
minute.
And so I
We
think
don't
some
need to-
people will be misinformed if they think that that's real.
We don't need this. We don't need to make another switch call 2-second timer. We can literally use get item pop-up, and we'll say get item pop-up off. And when the switch turns on, we're going to do a wait command on this parallel process, which will just wait on its own 120 frames and then shut itself off.
Right. Zarsla, I understand it's a alt history fictional book. I don't know. I guess maybe they should have like a disclaimer saying that this is based entirely on fiction. Because like it even made me question when I saw the railroad underground. I was like, wait, was there actually a train?
I knew right off the bat.
I'm pretty sure there wasn't.
No, I said they didn't actually have a train underground. That was the name that they used because they built tunnels underground, and it was like a bunch of them.
It made me question myself, though.
Yeah.
I was like, did I not remember that there was actually a train somewhere?
There was
or something?
not a train underground.
No, there wasn't.
It would kill people of carbon monoxide poisoning. It was fucking stupid. It was just stupid. Whatever. I'm over it.
Yeah.
I decided one episode was all I needed to see of that. I think this will work. Oh my freaking. So this is what's happening. I'm running Lumberjack. It's doing all the normal stuff, but when it turns on get item switch pop up, it runs this as a parallel process, and it waits 2 seconds and shuts itself off. And that's what we'll use to just make it reoccur. Let's see if it actually, I may have to make it like 1 frame less. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Boom.
It did have like.
Oh my god! It's like repeating backwards. What? No, that's not right.
Great.
That's not right. That's
hey, you're halfway there.
We're making progress.
Gold. No, it seemed kind of like based on a true story kind of thing. That's
Reset
why.
to start.
I just assumed it was going to be historically accurate because it didn't have magic in it or anything absurd. It seemed very realist to me until the train showed up, and then I was like, what?
See, if this refresh would work, I wouldn't have to press F5 in between every time I modify something in the Hud Maker. That used to be a feature. I don't know what happened and why it stopped doing that.
And to be honest, we'd probably still be watching it if it weren't for the audio levels in the bloom. That was like the killer.
Oh, no.
The cinematography, not the story.
Something is messed up with the opacity here. Why is it... Okay. Run once... Duration 120. Easing curve linear.
Yeah, Zarsla, I learned about the Underground Railroad. Like I said, it made me question what I knew. Like, I knew that there was no train, but I was like, wait, was there actually a train that I didn't learn about? So I looked it up. And there was no train, obviously. But it did make me question because it was shot like a based on a true story type show. I don't know. Like I said, we liked the story. We really liked the story, and we would have kept watching it, but the audio levels were just unbearable.
No, why? What? Fucking why?
There will be enough people that won't know it's fiction, though, that will be fooled, Zarsla. It's gonna happen. There are going to be people that actually think there was a train underground because of this series.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
It's going to happen.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think I need to try something else. When I was looking at this activation type, it actually had a switch. It showed the switch. So why don't I tie it to the switch instead of when it shows it? Like activation type switch 4. Let's tie the activation type to the switch to see what happens. Because maybe it'll restart to its original location.
That's what you want it to do, right?
Yes, yeah. I want it to be at the bottom, go up and fade away. And then the next time you get an item, it starts at the bottom, goes up and fades away.
It makes sense. Yeah, I don't know anybody else, but I know in my area of New York that I grew up in, we learned a lot about the Underground Railroad. They're very proud of their...
I like Poca Latte's description. Vin Diesel fighting aliens in the Underground Railroad based on a true story.
Yeah. But in this area, the area of New York that I grew up in, they're very proud of their role that they played in the Underground Railroad, because a lot of, like, the houses in the area that I grew up in had false walls and...
High five.
You did it!
High five.
Awesome!
We did it.
So happy!
We did it, Reddit. I mean, YouTube. We did it.
But it was a major hub of the Underground Railroad, and people, like, the history was very well covered in school, but the series still made me question myself.
Check it out. You get a log every time you fill that up.
That is
so we're actually
cool.
adding. We're
Oh my
adding. We're
God.
adding an item. We're
Adding an item.
We're iding in our idle
I
game.
need to put that in the Smash
Shut up.
dictionary.
Shut up.
We have a Smash dictionary that is going in.
I gotta
right
pee.
now.
I love you guys. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Iding.
I don't know what we're doing yet. We're gonna do
Adding
something.
an item. All right.
What are we
hold
gonna
on.
do tomorrow?
Iding equals adding an item.
Does anybody need first impressions? I have to check the log. I think we're clear. I don't think we have any for this week. Do we have any first impressions?
No, not that I know of. What did I say
We
yesterday?
did a lot last
Pipe
week.
and tube. Type, right? That was another word
Type,
smash.
yeah, pipe
I was
and
trying
tube.
to talk yesterday, and I had like pipe and tube in my head, so I said type. Putting that down too. Type.
I
Pipe
kind of
and
just
tube.
want to keep. I just want to keep working on this project. To be honest. But
Well, keep working on it. If we don't have anything tomorrow.
maybe we'll do this again tomorrow. Sorry if
Yeah.
you guys don't. There's 3 projects I'm working on that I want to continue to make progress. The MZ MMO. We're taking the AlphaNet out so that I can continue to make, because I'm stuck. I can't do anything with it because I can't
Yeah.
control the server side.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna write my own. I have to do it all, but that's fine. Because then I can make progress at least. So we'll maybe do 1 day of MZ MMO today or this week, and then also amalgamation. Maybe we'll do amalgamation tomorrow. Maybe we'll do this tomorrow. We'll see.
Okay.
And then we have Ronin Idle RPG,
And Amori
and we do the Amori Let's Play
on Wednesday.
And then we have
Yeah.
Friday AMA, or we'll do a first impression and push something aside to fit that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's it for today. Love you guys very much. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're interested, come join us on the Discord. Links in the description below. Follow us on Twitter. We have a Patreon, and we have a PayPal if you want the majority of your money to get to us and not be lost in transaction and corporation fees. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. Moogle says, you need more projects.
I do not need more projects.
We need one for every day of the week.
No way, man. You bet, Google. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.